What were you doing in the summer of 2005? Because I know what I was doing. I wasn't alive. Holy bars. I don't really have much of an intro for what we're talking about today, so I guess we're just gonna have to get into it. Hi, welcome to my channel. This is where I talk about music and music-related things, apparently from my bathtub now. And today we are talking about Pete Wentz and Mikey Way and just what happened between them. Before we actually start, I do want to say this is all like speculative. Pete Wentz and Mikey Way are real people with real lives. Please don't, like, you guys know what to do and what not to do. I hope you guys are responsible people. I hope I don't have to put it out there. Don't, run after them and talk about this weird situationship that they may or may not have had 20 years ago. But I trust you guys to be pretty responsible people, so I guess just like and subscribe, and then we're gonna get into the video. Okay, so most of the information that I'm gonna be getting from this is from a Tumblr post, Tumblr thread. I wasn't super duper big into Petekey until I was about like 13. Even then, it was just like kind of way too late to really be into anything because unfortunately, I was not alive when any of this actually transpired. So, sucks, I guess. I wish my parents had me 10 years earlier. Let's start off pretty simple. Who is Pete Wentz? Who is Mikey Way? If you know, I assume you know at least this much about Petekey. Maybe not at all. Maybe that's why you're here. Maybe you don't know who Pete Wentz or Mikey Way are. Maybe I don't know why you would be here. I guess you're here to learn. Today we're gonna learn something. Okay, enough gabbing. Pete Wentz is a frontman and bassist, I believe, of Fall Out Boy, and Mikey Way is the bassist of My Chemical Romance. They are part of this, like, the emo trinity, emo quad, whatever you want to call it. Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance. Those are the two bands that you have to keep in mind for this video. And again, let me just put it out there. Do not harass anybody mentioned in this video. This is literally all speculation. If anything, treat it like a fictional fanfic, okay? None of this is real. This is all a story that I just made up in my head, okay? There. Where should we start? Probably the beginning. I'm gonna have to read notes a lot for this, so I'm sorry if we don't make eye contact. So Pete and Mikey may have met as early as 2003, maybe 2004. 2003, allegedly in a bowling alley called the Fireside Bowl, or 2004 during Warped Tour. Though the first time that they were actually spotted in the same place was at a Fall Out Boy show on April 16th of 2005, where Mikey Way was wearing the denim jacket, which will come back later. A lot of these docs have like pictures attached to them, so I will try to put all the pictures on the side so that it makes sense. I hope I won't miss any pictures because that would be really tragic, but I can also link the Tumblr post below in case you guys want to read it on your own. So allegedly this denim jacket was Pete's jacket. I don't know. I'm not sure. That is just what people have speculated, what people have said. So it is safe to assume that they were friends around this time. If they were sharing clothes, they were close to a certain extent. Now, also around this time, Pete was seen wearing a shirt that says "Sweet Little Dudes" on it. Now, why is this important? During the Bullets era of MCR, Mikey would usually refer to the band as Sweet Little Dudes, and then he would refer to them like that in interviews, and then Pete would start to refer to them in interviews. He slowly became like obsessed with this term in a way, and so he was spotted wearing a shirt that said "Sweet Little Dudes" on it. Now, they mention it kind of often in interviews. There are a couple questions from recent, I say recent, this is 2004, 2005, but there were recent interviews at the time where he would mention it quite a bit. One of the things that he said was that him and Mikey Way have a gang that they call the Sweet Dudes, or the Sweet Little Dudes. And then he said you might see us on Warped Tour. He also answered another question asking about like if MCR and Fall Out Boy are like friends or whatever. He said, no, they're actually some of our best friends. Me and Mikey have a gang called the Sweet Little Dudes. So clearly he's like obsessed with this term and kind of obsessed with Mikey Way. He mentions it just a lot throughout 2004, 2005, kind of establishing that they have this closer connection to each other apart from like the rest of the members in the separate bands. Now speeding up a little bit to Bamboozle Fest of 2005 in New Jersey, where both Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance were performing, it was spotted that Mikey was on the side stage as Pete was playing, and allegedly this was also the time where a LiveJournal post was posted. I don't have a screenshot of this one because it is like very low quality. If I tried to blow it up, it's literally just gonna look like pixels. But basically he gives like a status update saying that he's hot and bothered, saying, number 1, I have a crush on a person I speak to near daily. Number 2, white jackets. This is a reference back to the white jacket that Pete owns, or that Pete was in. Interesting. So this 2005 is kind of where we get into the summer of like, which is the meat and potatoes of their whole situationship. You know, it was like a summer fling. I like to call it a situationship, but you know, it is what it is. Now, June 28th, 2005 is when the ever so infamous LiveJournal post was posted saying, amazing New Mexico sunset. I'm hanging on a bridge with my friend Mikey from my chem. It's all orange and pink above us. We went to another water park again. I love high fives again. Totally back in love. Saw the most amazing movie. I think it's called Spirited Away. Watch it. Peter Pan. He's so in love. I mean, like, literally saying totally back in love again. Guys. I'm gonna go insane. Okay, so there are quite a lot of LiveJournal posts actually, and I don't think I'm gonna talk about all of them because they're all kind of talking about how he's just falling in love with Mikey Way. Allegedly. This one is super important. July 19th, 2005. Pete Wentz writes, wrote you a goodbye note. You just wrote me off on your arm where you passed out. Best friends, ex-friends, better off as lovers, not the other way around. Racing through the city in the back of a yellow checkered car. The takeoffs are the worst, but your skin from your shoulder to your ear make it all worth it. Blah, 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 blah. At the end, it says, I miss you. Why is this important now? This entry, at least the very beginning of it, is also the beginning of the chorus of Bang the Doldrums. And originally, Bang the Doldrums was titled The Summer of Like. Guys, this is so interesting! It's like, I feel like I'm reliving it again. But like 7 years later, this is so crazy, guys. Oh my god. Like, all the dots are like connecting. This is so crazy. So anyways, while all of this was going on, what was happening with the rest of the band? They were on tour, of course, right? They were doing Warped Tour, and usually, because they were performing on the same stage, they would kind of just switch off members from Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance. They would play together. They would play, like, different people from different bands would play together because they were just close like that. Mikey would often take over for Pete while Pete would sing with the crowd, and then more notably, there would be moments where Pete would just watch Mikey play. It was also reported around this time that they would not be photographed together, which is strange. Some fans said that while they were at Warped Tour, they would see the two of them together, but when they asked to take a picture together, they were like, no. And the bodyguards were like, you guys can't talk to them, actually, so that is strange. It was also around this time where Pete would dedicate a lot of songs to Mikey. He would dedicate it to Mikey Revenge, which later became Mikey's MySpace name, which is so interesting. I wonder who gave him that nickname. And even a little bit later, Pete came out with a shirt that said, I love revenge on it. You guys see it too, right? Like, I'm not going insane over here connecting these dots. And on Pete's vlog, he made a post, and there's a picture attached to this post. But the post says, I wish you were my base, not just my friend. Like, guys. What the heck? Guys. Okay, so now at this point, Warped Tour has ended. They're kind of parting ways from each other, and then From Under the Cork Tree drops by Fall Out Boy. And again, some time passes. It's now November of 2005, I believe. And somebody asked Pete, hey, just wondering how good friends of you with Mikey Way. Pete answers, we're not just in one gang together, we're actually in two, the sweet little dudes in the Fraternal Order of the Handsome Boy, where I call him the Duke of Handsomeness. Bro, that's some like hardcore like couple stuff, because like nobody else is that corny. Like you guys see what I'm seeing here, right? Like this is so interesting. But it was also like at the very end of that year where Mikey gets engaged to Alicia Simmons. So sucks for Pete, I guess. Though they weren't together during Warped Tour of 2005, so it's kind of like a speedy timeline. Not sure what that's all about. I don't know. I think that's really interesting though. But now that we're in 2006, February 19th of 2006, Pete posts something and he says, been spending most of my life living in a gangster's paradise. Dear DJ Booth, I love old friends. Thanks for the party. Sincerely, Peter. And it's a picture of him and Mikey Way. He later posts another entry, which I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the important part in it is that he says, I'm in the lobby of a hotel in New York City, waiting for something that's never gonna happen. I'm calculating all the legs and drunken stutters. I'm precise, I'm a machine, I'm a hot mess. So I don't know what happened that night, but it sounds like somebody's back in love. Now, it was on March 4th of 2006 where they played a show in New York City, I believe. And it was Pete and Joe and a few other people, and they were playing under this name of Saved Latin. So they weren't playing under Fall Out Boy, but they were playing under a different name. And of course, who's there but Mikey Way? Because why wouldn't he be, you know? And this is the show where a lot of the like infamous Pete Key pictures drop. Not really infamous, but there's the picture of Mikey in this like massive trench coat. Emo fashion, guys. Emo fashion, am I right? But anyways, he brings Mikey up on stage because why wouldn't he? And before doing that, he says, I read a lot of internet erotica about this guy before, which is an interesting thing to say about your good friend Mikey Way. But mainly this night was all about the pictures that dropped because they are just ever so iconic. They truly are. They are the pinnacle of fashion. And it's important to note, especially in the picture where he's wearing the fingerless gloves. Whoa, my hand looks so weird. I look like a raptor. It's important to note that the fingerless gloves are from the brand Clandestine, which is Pete's brand. Holy, that was a hard sentence. Now, while this was all happening, there's also this like mini side drama going on with this guy called Hey Chris, which there's already a bunch of drama that I'm not going to get into in this video about that, but it is written in the Tumblr if you want to read that. I just don't feel like it's super important to the narrative. Most of what it boils down to is that Pete's nudes got leaked, unfortunately, and then they kind of go back and forth on LiveJournal, just like giving open letters to each other. Basically, all this stuff could have been an email or a text, but it's all public. Chris says that Pete tried to steal his girlfriend, and so he leaked Pete's nudes, allegedly. And then he took a bunch of pictures with Mikey Way, and he was like, oh my gosh, I found love again, and it's Mikey Way. Like, who do you think you are? Oh my god, this Chris guy is so annoying. I don't even know him. Like, I hate him. I literally hate him. So anyways, that was just a strange saga. I really don't know what to make of it. Like, I really truly just don't know. Men are kind of weird. Like, they do some weird stuff. Now, in 2006, Pete posts a bunch more LiveJournals, and they're honestly just like, they're really sad to read. Like, it makes me emotional because they're all just kind of being like, they're honestly all just like really sad and like about his feelings, and they're really poetic. He definitely has a way with writing, but it's just like, it's so sad to read. Oh my gosh. He mentions like Warped Tour a lot in them, and he alludes to Mikey's wedding, being like, oh, I'll be there at your wedding, but it's not gonna be a happy time for me. He says stuff like, I've been watching you from afar, my breath is inside every window as you walk by. Like, oh my god. I'm gonna cry if I read these, and I have makeup on, so I can't cry right now. This is worse than the, like, most gut-wrenching fanfic I've ever read. Oh my god. I'm, like, genuinely tearing up here. I can't read these out loud because I'll actually start crying. He says, what's the opposite of amnesia? Because that's what I have. Sometimes I can't find my way around my own memories. I have to take detours. I think you were the best one. Guys, what the heck? Let's move on to 2007, where we get into Infinity on High. So this album has quite a lot of mentions-ish of Mikey in it. A lot of lyrics come straight from his live journal from 2005, 2006, but a lot of the songs that seem to be included in this are I'm Like a Lawyer, The Takeover, The Breaks Over, Thanks for the Memories, Carpal Tunnel of Love, All I've Got Is This Ringing in My Ears, and then GINASFS. What does that stand for, you might ask? It stands for Gay is Not a Synonym for Shitty. So take that how you will. Aside from that, there's not much that happens in that era, but getting into Fully Ado in 2008, at the end of 2008, is their last album before their hiatus, Fall Out Boy's hiatus. There's not too much there, honestly. There's the song America's Sweethearts. The music video is kind of interesting-ish, a little bit. And also, he turns 27. Pete turned 27 in 2006, which is the summer where he was very sad, posting all of those really sad live journals about Warped Tour. And then they also have a song on this album called 27. So, I don't know. While they were on said hiatus, they were kind of Twitter fiends, and this was like 2009, so this was like the Wild West of Twitter, somewhat. And there are definitely some very interesting, there are some very strange tweets that are made. One of them that comes to mind, especially also the first one that's in my doc, is a picture of apple juice where he says, at Mikey Way, my name is Pete Wentz and I have a problem. I've been drinking gallons of apple juice every night for a week. It tastes like you. Side eye, like, oh my god. They kind of just go back and forth with a lot of tweets. Some of my favorites, Mikey Way, at Pete Wentz, happy birthday SLD, the roaring 30s have arrived. Pete Wentz, replying to Mikey Way, haha, hangs. Pete Wentz, at Mikey Way, dude, everyone was like, Pete looks like a pirate. Mikey looks so hot. Sounds about right. At Mikey Way, hang this week, you can meet the little monster. At Pete Wentz, can't wait, I'll be a G-rated bad influence. Guys, they're so funny. They're actually so funny. This is how me and my friends talk, like, but I'm also in love with my friends, so take that how you will. Take that how you will. There's just 10 million tweets. I'm not gonna talk about all of them because they're not important, but those were just my favorites. Now this goes on all the way until 2017. So that's like nearly 10 years, right? That's like 8 years. What the heck? Like, they're so weird, bro. They're so weird. Anyways, in 2013 is when the Fall Out Boy hiatus ended, and then like literally a month after they came out with their like first comeback single was when My Chem broke up. So that's awkward, kind of. These songs on, I believe, the songs on Save Rock and Roll, which is their comeback album, which may or may not be about Mikey, are Alone Together, Just One Yesterday, and Miss Missing You. Now, those are my 3 favorite songs on the album, so I don't know what that says about me. Maybe that I love Old Man Yaoi. And there's also a song on their like deluxe of that album called Eternal Summer. Interesting. Now here's where it gets good. On their next album, American Beauty, American Psychos, where there is a certain song titled The 4th of July. I mean, how much more direct can you get, honestly? A bunch of the lyrics come straight from live journal entries. Once again, you're my favorite what if, you're my best I'll never know. I wish I'd known how much you love me, I wish I'd cared enough to know. I'm sorry, every song's about you. The torture of small talk with someone you used to love. Oh my god. I'm sorry, every song's about you. Truly, if somebody said that about me, I would either have to kill myself or marry them. Like, oh my god. Another notable song is Twin Skeletons. That song has a lyric talking about being in a room in a hotel in New York City, similar to the live journal that we discussed a little bit ago. So, interesting. Now we are gearing to a bit of a close here. In 2018 with Mania, they have a song called Hold Me Tight or Don't, which is kind of like the Bang the Doldrums of this album. He honestly just talks a lot about how he holds on to memories of the past, of like the long time ago past. Saying, realize that I can't be with you or just be your friend. I love you to death, but I just can't. Confidants, but never friends. Were we ever friends? Damn. It's giving like better off as lovers, not the other way around kind of energy. You know what I mean? So where does this leave us today? Pete and Mikey haven't interacted since 2017. Mind you, that's almost 10 years ago now, which is crazy. Don't ever say that to me again, but whoa. I mean, my Chem is back on tour. Fall Out Boy has released an album. They've gone on 2 tours. I don't think they're on tour right now. People have been speculating MCR5 for the past 10 years now, but it's once again on the table. So, you know, we never know, really. Honestly, Pete Key is up in the air. If you want to believe in it, believe in it. If you don't. I just think it's fun to talk about. I like to talk about people and things and music. So that's what I'm doing, I guess. Honestly, I'm rambling. It's the end of the video. I don't know how to end it. I hope you enjoyed my yapping. I hope you are just as confused as you were in the beginning. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe at least now you know about Pete Key, have somewhat of an interest in it, so you can go research on your own now, because I have been yapping for about an hour and it's probably gonna get cut down to like 30 minutes because I go on tangents. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. I thoroughly appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas for videos you want me to talk about. I talk about albums, artists, observations, and anything else that I see happening in the music world around me. So anything music related, just throw it my way. Okay.